They say revenge is a dish best served cold. Well, I'm here to tell you, that's a load of crap. In my experience, revenge is best served at 65 miles an hour, a little slushy around the edges, and lobbed across the neighbor's yard right into a crowd of people who just finished complimenting the shrimp cocktail. But before we get into the chaos, the screaming, the sirens, the sound of a year's worth of K9 poops sailing through the crisp suburban air, let's back up a sec. Because this whole saga started, as most wars do, with a bin. I'm a simple guy. My name's Mark, 32. Systems engineer by day and by night. Well, mostly a guy who likes things neat, logical. I like the world to make sense. Which, living in suburban America with HOAs crawling out of every cul-de-sac, is kind of hilarious, right? Where the length of your grass is a matter for public debate and the exact shade of your mailbox can launch a civil war, there aren't many moments of pure, uncontested victory. Except, maybe, empty bin day. You know what I mean? Tuesday morning, you hear that diesel beast rumbling down the street. Garbage day. There's that primal, prehistoric sound of the truck, hydraulic whine, the slam of plastic on metal, brakes hissing, and then sweet silence as the truck rolls off, taking the filth of last week with it. You shuffle out to the curb in slippers, coffee in hand, grab the handle, and it's weightless. For a second, you're rich in possibilities. 6 days to refill this bin with whatever life throws at you. A fresh start. Or, that's the dream. Reality, for me, was Mrs. Higgins. Calling Mrs. Higgins my neighbor is like calling a shark your swimming buddy. She looked like someone designed her in a lab specifically for the job of HOA president. 70s, floral blouse probably worth more than my car payment. And this helmet of white hair sprayed so stiff I swear it could deflect birdshot. She lived to my right. In a colonial with a lawn so green, it looked like a movie set. The kind of grass that makes you feel guilty just looking at it. And then there was Princess. Shoe, by breed, demon by temperament. Spiritually, Princess was a furry, yapping ball of hatred powered by high-protein kibble and pure spite. That dog hated everything. Mailmen, breezes, my existence, you name it. Mrs. Higgins walked. Princess 3 times a day, patrolling the sidewalk for offenses. It was a Tuesday in April, one of those mornings where the birds are selling real estate. I'm in my kitchen, admiring the clean bin. Outside, second cup of coffee in hand. I'm at peace. Then I see her, Higgins and Princess, marching to the property line. Princess squats. Whatever. Dogs do their business. Mrs. Higgins, to her credit, bags it, neon green, tight little knot. Good citizen. And then, as I'm about to walk away, she veers. Steps onto my driveway. Lifts my bin's lid. For a moment, time slows. Is she? Yep. She drops that bag right into my fresh, empty bin. Gives it a little pat. Walks away satisfied. You ever have one of those moments where something so small, so petty, just burrows into your soul? That bin was clean, folks. That bag of poop wasn't going to get buried. It was going to marinate in the sun, front and center, for a whole week. I stood there, processing the geometry of this insult. Mrs. Higgins's own bins were right there, not 30 feet away, spotless. But no, she chose mine. I put on my shoes, still in sweatpants, and called out, friendly, neighborly. Mrs. Higgins. She stops, turns, Princess growls. I ask her, hey, could you not drop the dog bag in my bin right after pickup? It's gonna bake in there for a week, makes the whole thing reek. She gives me this pitying smile, like I'm a child who's dropped his ice cream. Mark, it's a garbage can. It's made for garbage. She gestures at her own bins. Mine were already pulled up. Didn't want to walk all the way. Besides, your bin's public property on the curb. Now, my inner engineer wants to explain, technically, it's not public, the bin's leased to me, blah blah. But she's not having it. She tugs Princess's leash. Come along, Princess. The nasty man is being aggressive. And just like that, she walks off. Sauntering, admiring a tulip, not a care in the world. I open the bin. There it is, a lone green bag, tiny in the vast, empty space. And I almost pick it up. But then I think, no? Why should I fix her mess? That's how you get walked on. So I leave it, drag the bin back to the garage, feeling like a loser in my own driveway. By Thursday, it's 80 degrees. I go to toss in my kitchen trash, and the smell is like a punch to the face. Not just poop, fermented, Sunbaked poop. Flies circling, bag swollen. I grit my teeth. It's just a week, I tell myself. Surely she won't do it again. Next Tuesday, I'm ready. As soon as the truck leaves, I drag the bin. Behind the gate, safe. 10 minutes later, I go out to head to work, and there it is. Green bag, sitting smack in the middle of my driveway, right where the bin used to be. Tied up, a little statement. She's marking territory now. I look over, curtains twitch. She's watching. I pick up the bag, walk it over, and, gently, place it on her welcome friend's doormat. Felt good, honestly. Justice, right? That evening, I come home to a note. Official HOA stationery. Notice of violation. Improper disposal of biohazardous waste. Harassment of board member. Fines, legal threats, the whole thing signed by Mrs. E. Higgins, HOA president. I read that letter, and something snapped. Not a loud snap. More like the click of a safety coming off. She had the power, and she knew it. I couldn't win out in the open. She'd find me, sue me, bury me in bureaucracy. So I did what any cornered animal does. I got creative. Next day, I watch her. She comes out, been hidden behind my gate. She unlatches the gate, trespasses into my backyard, opens my bin, drops the bag, and struts out like she owns the place. I could call the cops, sure, but the cops won't fix this. I needed a plan. That night, I buy a chest freezer, 5 feet, energy efficient, lockable. Also get a stack of industrial vacuum seal bags and a high-end sealer. The next morning, she drops another bag. I put on gloves, mask, grab the tongs, fish it out, seal it, mark it with the date and origin, and toss it in the freezer. It feels weird. It feels right. And so it begins. Every bag, I collect. I organize by date. Consistency, wait. I'm not sure what I'm building towards. Just know that throwing them away would be letting her win. It becomes a science. A ritual. I tell my girlfriend Sarah it's sensitive work. Materials. She's an ER nurse, unfazed by bodily fluids. But this? She finds out in September, looking for vodka in the garage freezer. The scream she lets out. Let's just say, it's not fear. It's more existential horror. Mark, is this poop? She asks, wielding the vacuum sealer like a weapon. It's all poop, I admit. Why? Why so much? So I tell her about Mrs. Higgins, the HOA, the power plays. Sarah listens, eyes wide. Then, she gets it. What's the plan? Museum? Shrine? I don't know, but I need a delivery system. Sarah, God bless her, just grins. Her garden. Party. It's in 3 weeks. Big event. Caterers, the mayor's wife, the whole shebang. I look at the calendar. 3 weeks. 240 bags in the freezer. 70 pounds of righteous indignation on ice. If you're going to do this, Sarah says, you need range. Indirect fire. Engineering. I need a siege weapon. And I know a guy? Rusty. Local legend, mercenary handyman. Found him on a community forum. No last name. Just, I build stuff. Wood, metal, concrete. If you want pretty, call a decorator. If you want it to last through a hurricane, call Rusty. He rolls up the next day, 6 feet 4 inches, beard like a forest, overalls stained with life. He hates Mrs. Higgins already. She stiffed him on a gazebo job years ago. We hatch a plan, disguised as a garden. Trellis, it's actually a spring-powered catapult, hidden in plain sight. Rusty's a genius, rejects my pine, brings out oak beams. 8 feet tall, stained mahogany. To Mrs. Higgins, it looks like garden art. Underneath, tension springs, steel cables, a hidden basket. We calibrate at night, water balloons for test shots, aiming for the lawn, not the house. The big day comes, sunny, perfect. White tent, harpist, caterers, the whole neighborhood's out. Mrs. Higgins is in her element, giving a speech about purity, standards, glancing at my house. That's our cue. Rusty loads 5 semi-thawed bags, maximum coverage. We target the airspace over the patio. Fire. Thump. The bags arc through the air, sunlight catching on them like twisted confetti. They hit, bursting on the patio. Buffet harpist everywhere. Silence. Then chaos. Guests scream. Hats fly. The mayor's wife takes cover behind a topiary. Second volley. Stray hits a man in a beige suit. A woman in a hat takes one in. The lap. It's an attack, someone yells. Rusty's laughing so hard, he can barely crank the winch. Then the grand finale. A mega bag, Week's worth in one. Lands dead center on the catering table. Chocolate fountain explodes. Mrs. Higgins stands frozen, polka-dotted and defeated. Cops arrive. 3 cruisers, lights flashing. I play dumb. Show them the trellis. Rusty's handiwork is flawless. The officers poke around, shake their heads, can't prove a thing. Mrs. Higgins, chocolate-streaked and shrieking, is left to explain the unexplainable. 3 months later, she sells the house, never to show her face at the garden club again. The story of the brown rain becomes legend. No one's really sure what happened. My new neighbor has a cat. It stays inside. But just in case, that trellis is still out back, fully loaded, because around here, peace is only ever a reload away. So was I right? Was justice served? Or did I become exactly what I set out to? Fight. You tell me. Drop your wildest HOA story in the comments. Or just tell me, what would you have done if you were in my shoes? And hey, if you've ever faced down a neighborhood tyrant and lived to tell the tale, you're in good company.